entertainment, insights. Don't take life too seriously. Welcome to Brainsky Unleashed. On this episode, very excited, we are actually going to be producing some business coaching right here on the podcast. Very excited about this. It's something that Troy and I have talked about in the past. Really excited to get going. And so we are joined today by Jackie Butler. Now, Jackie is a recent purchaser of a dental lab. Now, this is something that I know very, very much about, considering I own one of these things, and it's a tough business. And so I'm so excited to turn this over to Troy. And Troy, work your magic with Jackie. Let's take her to a level she's never seen before. You ready?
Ready to rock.
Oh my God, let's do this. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Thomas. And
go ahead. It's all
welcome,
yours.
Jackie.
Hi, thank you.
This will be fun. Jackie, tell me a little bit about your business and why it is that you came into the dental lab space. Walk me through a little bit about some history.
Sure. So my husband is a dentist, and he started officing out of the building in which this dental lab is currently located. And through that connection, I got to know the dental lab owners, or the previous owners, I should say. And so getting to know them, I started working in the dental lab after I was ready to go back to work after having my daughter, who's 5 now. But anyway, so I started working in the dental lab alongside the previous owner for about 1.5 years, and then they were ready to sell. And Adam and I seemed to be great little buyers for the lab, as far as being able to run the lab and have him to be there for support. And that's kind of where we're at. We purchased the lab in July of last year, so almost 1 year in. Time's flying by, but yeah, so I've just kind of been trying to keep my head above water and starting to move in the digital direction, which is how I met Tom. And yeah, just trying to make the best of it and get a really good thing going and keep it that way.
And Troy, there it was. There was that red flag moment. Keep my head above water. I mean, there it is.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So how do you define what above water is?
Right. That water line keeps moving is the problem. So I had a really good handle on the day-to-day of the lab, the technicians, the shipping and receiving, the in and outs of that side of it. And then once the purchase happened, I had to then learn kind of the back end stuff, the accounting and accounts receivable and all the money side of things. And then just the other little nuances of managing people. So with all of that being said, I just feel like I'm always just one step in front of the next problem. Whereas
Right.
I would like to be way more ahead of that.
So you don't feel like you get the opportunity to lead. You feel like you're managing just to really just keep the day-to-day going. If you take a look at your goal of where it is that you want to go, in terms of revenue, are you happy with where you are, or do you have a revenue goal that's higher than what you currently are at today?
I'm happy with where we're at. I always want growth in the future and whatnot, and that happens to be part of bringing on the digital side of things. That's going to be huge for us. Also scary at the same time. There's a lot of moving parts there that have to be figured out. And I think,
why do you want to go digital, Jackie? Like, what is it about your business today that you're not happy with, that you feel like something should either be easier or something should be growing?
Oh, she's got to go digital in this industry. If she doesn't,
Yeah.
she's going to be buried in 5 years.
And so why is that? Why digital?
It's the way in which everything is made for dentists. I mean, she's not even capable of making the most popular crown in the world. And when I say popular, I mean,
define
it's
digital. Digital isn't just advertising, it's digital.
No, it's manufacturing. CAD/CAM manufacturing.
Space. Okay, because your audience is probably thinking right now that it's good to have that clarity is that piece. So you want to go digital for building crowns and all of those pieces.
Yeah, CAD/CAM manufacturing, digital.
Perfect. Okay. Which I've had the advantage of, because I just got a crown that was made digitally with with a 3D printer.
And I didn't make it? What the
No,
heck,
you
man?
didn't. You didn't answer your phone. You bet. So okay, so we have to do that. So Jackie, what is preventing that from happening overnight?
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So do you
I
know what do you know what the outcome really looks like for when you are at the place? Like, have you actually drawn out what the business looks like in terms of what the goal is and put timelines on it?
not formally. I have a piece of paper with some written down notes as far as a rollout and what all I need to do, kind of steps to make that as successful as possible. But as far as like putting numbers to it or um, like sturdier time frames, I have not.
Why is that? Is that fear?
Um,
Money?
I think it's a little bit of both, probably.
Yeah.
It's just it really is scary to take that big step. It's an expensive endeavor, which I get that it will be paid back tenfold, hopefully. um, so yeah, I think it's a couple of those things for sure.
Brainsky Unleashed is powered by ProfitMax. Did you know that 93% of businesses overpay on their taxes? Do you pay too much in taxes? A recent study showed that businesses are overpaying between 34 and 71%. ProfitMax is proven, legal tax strategy solutions to reduce your tax burden. I'm not only a client, but I even joined the team to help other business owners just like me pay only their fair share and nothing more. Go to profitmax.co. That's profitmax.co. Profitmax.co to find out more. You can even connect with me there, as you should. And I'll help make sure that your tax bill is legally as low as allowed. ProfitMax. Keep your catch.
The advice I'd give you right off the start is I would write down, just so that you don't make it too urgent for yourself, but write down, I'm happy and grateful that it is June 16th, 2024, and our lab is now a fully digital practice.
Well, not
And
yet.
just really get
Oh,
into the idea
24.
of what that looks like and know what machines, what services you offer, what is the revenue, and it sounds like you should also write in what that helped freed up some of your time and mind as well too, so that you have some work-life balance, right? And for those who can't see your smile right now, it sounds like that would be a nice thing to have. So if you really get clear on the outcome first, at least we know where the itinerary is. An airplane won't take off unless it knows when it's landing. And so we need to know those little shifts that the rudder has to make, not 90-degree turns, is what happens when we don't plan it out because we get so far off track. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Every morning and every night, focus on what that really truly feels like. So I always think of, when I tell people, is think of the goal or the dream. This is from Bob Proctor, by the way, but think of the dream and then really put feelings to how good it's going to feel to achieve it. Really get emotional with the way it looks, the way it feels, smells, tastes, touch, all of it, right? You're sitting there looking at your revenue now and you've gone up 40% because you're that much more efficient, and you can't believe how much more time you have to actually take on growth. That part there, and then actually put it into an action plan. So the pieces of the actions that I want you to do is to look at the actions that simply, I need to purchase this equipment. I need to have someone haul out the old equipment. We need to advertise and tell people that we can do that. And we need to have training. There's just some really simple things. Don't worry about all the steps in between because it gets overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And then assign those tasks so that you can either assign them to yourself or find somebody else who can be a mentor or a project coordinator, or somebody who's going to take that piece on like that's an expert in converting labs into digital, or learn how to do it yourself.
Right.
But I think just get infatuated with that piece of it will help out a lot. And then, the results then will come. And so I always tell people, if you look back, if you go dream, feelings, action equals results. If you don't have the results, look back at what you didn't do. Well, you haven't taken action. And the feeling you're giving it right now is more fear than it is faith.
Mm-hmm.
So get really clear on the dream today.
Okay.
Apply the feeling of how amazing it's going to be because of what it is that you've achieved. And then just go after the actions. And you know that it's just as simple as thinking about, I can't wait to go to Costco to get new lawn chairs and chicken breast and a barbecue. I've given it the feeling it's going to taste good, smell good at the barbecue. I'm going to jump in the car and just go. Same thing, and you'll get the result of a beautiful barbecue for a Friday afternoon, and do the same thing in your business. Now, that's the first part. How does that sit with you today, Jackie?
That sounds great. I'm a big believer in manifesting what you want and getting into that field. So I love all of that. I'm not sure why I haven't thought to apply that to the business world.
Yeah.
Because you're working in the business, not on the business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's so easy to see. And there is no more above water. Now, also, I want you to also think about for yourself personally in your own mindset, do this for you and your husband and your child, but think about something you also want to achieve personally in 2024 and focus on that after 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock so that you break that time up. Find it and share that with your husband and make sure he's doing the same thing. I think a lot of business owners think, I work really hard for my family, and I'm saying that that's actually kind of incorrect, because your family just wants you happy with a smile, not coming home stressed and depressed and and then fighting about money and time, right? Then take it to what I want you to do then is to focus on like the CHI framework of what Amanda and I talk about. So it's 4 pieces, really simple. Now we've got the first part, we've got your goals laid out and your actions taken. Then now let's go position your marketing in front of your dream 100 clients so that you're focused on selling to the people who are going to pay you the most amount of money quickest, so that we pay off that equipment and it becomes a thing of the past, and it's an opportunity to actually see the revenue of your investment. Don't worry about advertising to everybody, just focus on the people who can really see the value in you. Number 3, we need to talk about then what is the education that we're going to deliver to those clients, so that they can see the value and why we are the best option and biggest experts for them to invest with. And then number 4, come up with a strategy plan where it's really focused marketing and messaging to take that through to those target clients quickly and effectively, rather than just blanket advertising. We position it, a message directly to them and get in front of their face and space. And when we put all of that together, you will get your goal really fast. I can assure you.
Great. That sounds amazing.
Now I'm gonna chime in here, because everything that you've said, which I agree with, Troy. I mean, as you know, I'm a firm believer and a massive supporter and a lover of the Ultimate Sales Machine and Chet Holmes International. But I'm going to interject, and I'm going to say that having had a conversation with Jackie about just what her day looks like, just every single day, she is lacking on time severely. So what do you think you can tell her as to how she can manage her time to give herself enough time, even every day?
Glad you asked.
To take it to get her to where she needs to go. Because if she's not managing that time, she's going to be spinning her wheels.
Beautiful question. Thank you, Thomas. And I know everybody else is going to love this part. What I want you to do is to take a look back at that goal, get infatuated with that part. And I want you then to journal for the next 7 days at lunchtime and at 4 o'clock, or when you're about to wrap up. What was the stuff that got you towards the goal that you're infatuated with? And what were the things that prevented you? I want you to make a to-do list that keeps on continuing what you're supposed to do. And the things that are keeping you from your goal, whether that's janitorial or the things that are. I want you to create a not to-do list, a stop doing list.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. And the stop doing list. So I do have clients today that most of their coaches have told them, oh, you should be more working in management and leading the team. But I also have some of these business owners that I told to actually leave the office and go out to the field, because that's where their true love is. They love being an electrician. They don't like the paperwork. Figure out where you are in the right pieces of the day that is meant for you, not because we told you to or because society told you to, but because it's where you're the best at. Then on that not to-do list of stuff, you're like, you know what, I'm not good at it and I'm not willing to learn any more about it. And I feel like I have to just because I'm the owner. Let's hire someone else now to delegate that to do that piece for you. if you look at Henry Ford, Henry Ford talked to people about build me a V8 engine, just in a short summary here. He didn't know how to do it. They told him he couldn't be done. He left the office and said, just get it done and I'll see you in the morning. And today, most of us appreciate the fact that we drive a V-cylinder shaped engine because of that determination, but he couldn't do it. Same thing applies for Space Shuttle and NASA. They didn't know, they wanted a ship that came in and landed and could be reused on wheels. And that's how you got the Challenger, this Discovery, that vessel. And the people who wanted it couldn't build it. They had to hire someone else to do that part. But at the end of the day, the result is still aligned with the goal that you've decided on today, Jackie, is what you will be, what the perfect clinic is to you in 2024 of June 16. And then find the people that can do that. Does that answer your question too, Thomas?
Well, I'm gonna add a little bit more to it. All right. So I'm gonna get really granular here, Jackie. And this is something that I do in my laboratory. It is something I now have my managers doing in my laboratory. It is wildly successful at this point because, as you know, you have lots of things. So as you are manifesting, right, as you are figuring out what you want to have on your to-do and your not to-do list, you will have things that need to get done. Maybe it is, scheduling time to call a vendor to order a piece of equipment, or scheduling time to learn how to use that new equipment when it gets delivered, or come up with a marketing piece, or do anything. And so you can actually manage your time in a very granular manner by just taking a schedule, just a spreadsheet even, but I mean, just taking and scheduling your day and taking your time and you telling your time what to do, and not letting the schedule and letting life run you. So you managing your time versus time managing you. And so that means that you would literally start your day possibly. And what time do you get into work every day?
Anywhere between 9 and noon, depending on the day.
Okay. So let's say at 9 o'clock, first thing at 9 o'clock in the morning, you decide every 9 o'clock, I'm going to check on my team. And you're going to do that for 15 minutes, maybe half an hour, whatever it is. And you write that on your schedule. But now at 9:30, you're going to dedicate based on priorities. So you could even write at the top of a sheet, 3 items, 6 items that you absolutely want to get done that are very important. And you're going to take the most important one and you're going to put that one at 9:30 or 10 o'clock, depending on where you're at. And you're going to work that task for that amount of time that you determine. And maybe it's a task that's going to take you 2 months to accomplish, but you want to dedicate that time for that task. So you dedicate 30 minutes to work on that task and you put it down, and then you move on to the other tasks that you need to do. Maybe it's doing books, maybe it's returning phone calls, and you can schedule your day and you will be blown away at how effective you are with your time. And if you even force your management team to adopt this, your whole company will become effective, because now you're taking initiatives that need to get done and moving them down the field versus just focusing on the day-to-day with the hopes of finding the time to do those things. How'd I do, Troy?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Jackie's going to get overloaded here, but the other thing I would do is at what time do you normally check your email and your social media?
I don't usually check that till around 11 or 12.
Good. I was going to say, like, you can put a reminder or an autoresponder even on your email today and tell people, thank you for the email. I check my email at 11 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's something more of an urgent matter at that point, please contact my office at.
Yes.
Yeah. And that freed up a lot of time for me, because I was so addicted to that phone and watching and all the pop-ups, and and if you have 9 email addresses, there's a lot coming in, so you have to be diligent on that piece. I would say the other thing to add to Thomas, I love the scheduling part. An hour a day should be dedicated to you dreaming, even 30 minutes, and just playing out so that you really get focused on what that clinic looks like on a 365 days from now. And the more focused you are on how that goal is and really getting emotional with that feeling, the more you're going to tune out a lot of stuff, because you're going to be like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
You know,
So
you'll spend less time talking about certain things and just doing things because you're focused on it. Your body becomes in repetition. But I love what Thomas said. You know, there's nothing better than being able to do pieces of it, staying fresh. And after an hour, it's kind of proven scientifically, after an hour, you start to really dwindle to your
mhm.
effectiveness. So even if you had to do it twice a day, work on, you know, going to the bank for the money and what have you. That stuff's all pretty easy though. Like it's just do it. I like that, Thomas, though. Jackie, what about you? Any feedback for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think that all sounds amazing. I'm super excited to implement all of those things. I'll put them on my actual to-do list. But I think cutting out, I mean, having the not to-do list is really huge. I keep notes on my phone in my notes folder. I keep appointments on my calendar in my phone. I have a wall calendar. I have other to-do lists on just paper beside my computer. So being able to pull all that together and really focus it down to what's important, what's headed towards my goal, what is not, what can be delegated, is going to be very, very helpful for me. Because I am a bit of a controlling kind of person. It's hard for me to let go and let somebody else take over and do something. But I do recognize that handing some of those to-dos over to some of my management would be beneficial for them and for me as well.
You'll get there quicker. You know, every person I know that said that the number one thing in their business that changed their life was knowing that they couldn't do it all.
Mhm.
And hiring people that are way smarter than you, so that when you stop in, you're having that check-in meeting, as Thomas pointed out, 9, to remind them of where you are going in a year, so that all of them are empowered to know where you're going. Teach them about the financials or the projections and all of those things, and involve people to really be a part of getting there. When everybody knows it, it's like, back to my flight analogy, and Thomas can relate to this. When we know when we're going to fly somewhere, now the flight crew knows how much fuel to put in. They know how much food to put in the back. They know which suitcases are going where. All of the team makes it all happen. But if the pilot had to do all of that, heavens, it'd be horrible.
Never
Yeah.
get off the ground.
Never
Yeah.
go anywhere.
Yep.
So let the experts do what they do to
Mhm.
make it all happen, and trust each other, but you have to talk about it and plan ahead. It's funny, I can fly today on Delta and know when I'm going to land. I can also plan a year from now and know exactly at 12:41 I'm going to land in Chicago. How do we do that? But that's what keeps the whole thing organized. That's what keeps the business. And if Delta decided to sell their airline, what better way than already having a year's worth of business already planned and predicted to the dollar, and the outcome, and enjoy it, have fun. Business wasn't meant to be hard, yet everybody that finds it so hard.
So Jackie,
Yes.
I've got great news. You see, this is video and audio content. And so you now will, after this is posted, of course, you now will have a tool that you can even use for your management team to say, guys, we all need to get on board with some of these tactics. It's going to make the company stronger. We're going to be better for it. These are all healthy things to do.
Yes. I love it.
And now you also have an opportunity, because this is a podcast and you are a willing participant, and I appreciate it. So you have a fantastic opportunity to advertise your lab. What lab are you with, and why should people work with you? Let's let these dentists out there hear it.
Awesome. So it's McConaughey Dental Lab in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. We have been around since 1937. I am only the 4th owner of the lab. And in my opinion, we do very good work, very, very nice dentures. And then headed in the digital direction, we're really excited to bring, some new dentists on board and show some of our current customers what we can do in the digital world.
All right. Well, let me help you out. If they wanted to get a hold of you or find you, do you have a website? Do you have a phone number? How would you be reached? Are you on social media?
So no social media right now. The website is non-existent. Please do not try to go there.
Okay.
So the phone number is 405-525-7551.
All right. So if there's any dentist out there who are looking for excellent quality dentures, do you guys do crowns too?
We do.
All right, excellent quality dentures and crowns. Give McConaughey Dental Lab a shot. Oklahoma, I'm sure that we got some dentists out there who are listening. I can tell you that based on what we've discussed today, Jackie, you have now an hour a day to work on things like a website or a social media presence.
Right?
And all these other things that need to get done. So hopefully you found this to be very helpful. Troy, thank you again for joining, and I look forward to being able to do this on future episodes. I thought this was actually pretty fun. So we're going to close out this episode. Anyone who has any desire to hear from someone like Troy, that would be Chet Holmes International. If you have not read the book, The Ultimate Sales Machine, that is the book to read. It is one of the greatest business books I've ever read in my life. Jackie, I recommend that one to you as well. Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes, or the latest version, actually, The Ultimate Sales Machine by Amanda Holmes. Fantastic book. It can literally take businesses to a whole new level. So, Jackie, thank you. Troy, thank you. And Troy, we'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Thanks, Troy.
You're welcome.
You bet. Thank you.